The following podcast contains coarse language and adult themes. Do you think it's too much? Do you think it's a lot all at once? Because I know that it's spread out over a bunch of years, but fuck my hole. Like they've really dug in. They don't even know if it's going to work yet. Like Superman doesn't come out until when? June?
Yeah, Superman doesn't come out till July.
July. Well, I mean, so they've got all this stuff. It's March now, so that's April, May, June. So that's at least 3 more months of prep on anything that they're going to do before they know if this universe is going to work. What if Superman makes fucking 50p? Like, what are they going to do? And I mean, shit's already shooting. Supergirl's shooting. Lanterns is shooting. They've already had a season of that animated show, Creature Commandos. Yeah, I don't know. Do you reckon it's too much?
I reckon it's too much, as in, like, if you use a watermelon as a sex toy, eventually it'll become too much. Oh, no.
Welcome back to the Film Addicts podcast, everyone. We have descended into madness, and we've only been recording for 60 seconds. First, we were talking about DC's new massive slate of shit that they've announced through the James Gunniverse and you know, parts around and things like that. And then we got to fruit fucking almost immediately. So, but I mean, that's what you're here for. My name's Riggs. What's going on? What's going on with you guys? What's going on with you, Addy?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's just, you said if it's too much, and the first thing that popped in my head was fucking watermelon.
I mean, fucking fruit if you got to that point, whatever it is too much. I think if whatever you were doing, because you don't just start with fruit fucking. You know what I mean? Like, you don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, I think I'm going to absolutely fuck a cantaloupe to death and turn it into mush. You know what I mean? Get your kicks however you please, you know, no kink shaming or anything, but you don't start there. That is a kink that evolves. Like, one time, you know, you're fooling around with someone, girl, guy, otherwise, you know, and you're getting your balls licked, and she gives you, or he gives you, or they give you a grape. They put a grape in your mouth because you're on a picnic and you're outdoors somewhere, because outdoor fucking's a bit sneaky, you know, like your old timey people. It's awesome. And she gives you a grape, and you're like, oh, hang on a minute. Fruit and a blowjob, or whatever going on down there, a lick job, anything you like. And yeah, you just it slowly evolves until you wake up one morning and you got 2 peaches in your asshole. Anyway, do you want to talk about DC's shit? Fuck. Every time I think it's going to be just a normal episode and we're just going to talk about normal nerd news, we talk about having sex with fucking stone fruits. Okay. You're right. It is too much. It is way too much. You're going to turn that watermelon into pulp before you even get, 2 pumps in. But more to the point, DC has come out and announced, I don't know why they did it. Was there a particular reason, or are they just kind of, getting ready?
Yeah, I think that they're just getting ready, and I think James Gunn and Peter Safran just had like remember how they announced like the entire first chapter of DC, the Gods and Monsters shit? James Gunn had the video up, and then, they sat down with different entertainment journalists and talked about their plan. I think this is more of that. Okay,
so it's a longer form version, but you think this is stuff that they kind of had in the mix anyway?
Yeah, I mean, there are a few things mentioned here that I'm really disappointed by, but I think we'll get to that.
We'll get to them. Okay.
Later.
Well, yeah, we're just going to run down a list and chat about a few different things. I don't know why they need to bring up that. I'm just scrolling down the Variety article, what fucking living in Trump's America has to do with anything.
Oh, that's just the ad. That's fine.
Just stop bringing him up. The more you talk about him, the more power you give him. For fuck's sake. Yeah, so let's talk through the TV stuff first. So we'll go all the TV and animated shits. So do you know what they are off the top of your head?
Yeah, so TV is, they showed the Lanterns picture, and it is in production. That looks cool.
It's just two dudes, and one of them's a grizzled old veteran, and the other one's a young upstart. It's going to be like, what do they say? It's going to be like The Wire, but with Green Lanterns. I can't fucking wait. I'm so excited.
I think that's the only one with the live action show, right? There's no other live action show.
Well, according to this article, they're doing a second season of The Penguin.
That's not. You're not. What? Why?
What do you mean? What? Why? It says it.
No, but why would you do that?
Why would you do a second season of The Penguin?
Yep.
You just do it in between. Like, he needs to have some sort of role in the Batman Part 2. And then, again, like they did with this time, you have the second season bridge the gap. And you have the fallout from, like in Penguin, if you haven't seen it, everybody, it takes place, apart from flashbacks, immediately after the end of the Batman. You have whatever goes on, and it's absolutely affected by the events in that film. And then you have the second film take place, and then in between the second and third films, you have another season of The Penguin to bridge that gap.
The second film doesn't come out till 27.
Yeah, well, I mean, by the time they write and shoot an entire season... Is it 27? Are you fucking kidding me? Talk about missing the boat.
Because they go into production, I think, December of this year, no?
I don't know. Let's just have a little quick look here. Just stand by, everyone, while I read an article from the internet. It's a silly day. Well, I mean, also, it might have something to do with the fact that they don't want to cannibalize the interest. They're going to do Brave and the Bold. Do they want two Batman movies coming out in the same year? I don't know.
I also don't think they're going to do Brave and the Bold like anytime soon. I think we wait another like 6 years for that.
It'll be interesting if they base it on the Batman and Robin series that Grant Morrison did, which is, focused on. That was focused on Dick and as Batman. Anyway, if they use Damian, is my point, which is what they must do. Actually, I had a comic book collector yesterday tell me not to sell my original, because I've got the original 4-issue arc that Grant Morrison wrote in Batman, where he introduced Damian Wayne, or the origin. He's like, don't sell it yet. Wait until the movie comes out and you'll fucking make a goddamn mint. The Batman 2. It doesn't actually say here. Brief updates of the Batman 2. Safran says that writer-director Matt Reeves has yet to turn in a full script, but what we've read so far is incredibly encouraging. Oh, yeah, you're right. Warner Brothers recently pushed the movie from 2026 to 2027. They had even less to say about the possibility of a second season of the spin-off series The Penguin, with Colin Farrell following the release of Part 2. We don't know. There are a lot of moving pieces. Probably most important is Colin himself. From the interviews that I listened to, like during this, when they were airing The Penguin, they had Amy Nicholson did a series on it, the podcaster, and she interviewed Colin Farrell, and he said it was really fucking hard. Like, it's really hard to be under all that gear. I mean, he was like, I know it's just acting, in his beautiful Irish lilt. I know it's just acting and I shouldn't complain, but it's not an easy show to make. So who knows? That was a fucking clickbaity, wasn't it, at the top of that? Anyway, we're talking about TV stuff. Very possibly The Penguin, but season 2, maybe. Very possibly, maybe. What were the animated things that you were talking about? Right.
So this is interesting because this has more questions than it like. They presented this as like answers to what the DCU will hold, but then they announced it in like the kids, like the family friendly section, which is, like the ongoing series My Adventures with Superman, which is very sci-fi anime based. It's cool. It's a different take on Superman, like not that different, but like visually different.
Yeah.
So it's a really, and Huey from The Boys is voicing Superman in that, which is cool. Then they announced in the same universe, I'm guessing, because it has the same font and the same title. They announced My Adventures with Green Lantern. I think My Adventures with Green Lantern is going to follow a female lead.
There's quite a few good. I mean, there's thousands of Green Lanterns. Trilla True would be really cool. She's like a half kind of fish alien person. That would be pretty awesome. Or there was a one who held the mantle for a while, and I can't remember. I think she might have been the daughter of somebody. of like Kyle Rayner or something. Anyway, my Green Lantern knowledge isn't deep, Bench, but I kind of dig the character a lot. Do you dig the idea of them doing more animated stuff like this? Because there's that. Then there's a show called Superpowers.
Yes, which is... See, this is where it gets weird, because the show is an animated show with, Teen Titan-esque characters with the Flash in it, and it's like a middle school, and it is like not policed, but like principled by Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, I was just reading it here. Takes place at the Alliance School of Heroes and focuses on new students Lightning, Flash, Plastic Man, Aquagirl, Green Lantern, and Terra, who level up their powers, this is in quotations, under the supervision of Principal Martian Manhunter Jean Jones, who's like one of my favourite motherfuckers of all time, in the hopes that one day graduating and becoming the next gen of Earth's defenders. Oh, a guy named Matt Beans is executively producing. Oh, that's excellent. That just makes me happy that his last name is Beans. Imagine having a last name Beans. What are you having for dinner tonight, Matt? Fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would never... Oh, what are they? What's he got? What do you got there while you're brewing that coffee? Are they Matt Beans? I'm channeling the Joker today, sorry, but in a positive way. I was interested because the Superpowers font that they shown in the text, in the image that they put up of the title, the Superpowers, it's got the stars, and it's also the same font for the Superpowers toy series that they had in the 70s and 80s, which is like, mind-blowing. I had like two of the Flash, and I used to run him around on our carpet, and our carpet would it was that high, 1970s shag carpeting, and he would leave like feet trails behind him. It was excellent.
That's so cool.
Yeah, there's those super toys, so I thought it might have something to do with that, but apparently not.
Maybe they might be using the same designs, we don't know. The Flash is part of it.
That would be really cool, because it's old school. Yeah, so my adventures with Green Lantern will follow high school student Jessica Cruz, which is the one I was thinking of, who has her life upended when, according to the official logline, a Green Lantern power ring falls from the sky, and it chooses Cruz to be their champion. So it's the basic story of a Green Lantern, but with a female protagonist, which I'm here for.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I've seen that character in like one of the. It was either the Tomorrowverse or the doomed DCAMU, which is.
Yep. Which is just a mouthful.
It is, but like they told amazing stories. It ended pretty somberly, but that's things happen.
So does life.
Yes.
And the other one, it appears, is Starfire.
Yeah.
Starfire serves as an origin story with a fan favorite title character, perhaps best known for her part in the Teen Titans. The show follows her adventures after she uses an ancient spaceship to discover her own home planet of Tamaran to escape her planet and explore the stars. She will meet space biker Crush, plant-loving Fern, and the magical Princess Amethyst of Gemworld. I don't know if they're current standing characters or not. Maybe they're created specifically for this animated show.
I think Fern is the daughter of Lobo, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, right. Okay.
I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I don't know why a space biker Crush sounds more like would be Lobo's daughter than a plant-loving Fern.
That I might be,
Might be getting him confused.
Yeah. I might also be racist
that's
to
cool.
alien species.
They're trying some new stuff. They're trying some interesting stuff. I like more Green Lantern in my life, How do you feel? Were there other animated stuffs?
No, I think this was it. They have talked about like speed running the writing process for Creature Commandos season 2, which apparently did really well. I watched that show and I finished it in like 2 hours because it's like 8 episodes, like 30 minutes long. But
well, that's 4 hours.
I failed maths. Okay, I don't like get the fuck off my.
Don't math here, Riggs.
Also, it's not even 10 a.m. Like, how fucking dare you come out from a math skills, dude?
Yeah, on a Sunday, no less. What a dick.
But yeah, okay, Creature Commandos. It was a fun show. but I don't like it takes place in like a matter of hours.
Oh, right. Okay. Sort of a one crazy night situation.
Not entirely one crazy night, like one crazy day and then 2 crazy nights, I'd say.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like if the episodes were longer, that would be fun. But it's also like a Suicide Squad-esque team, so like it doesn't like you will never get the connection to those characters. Like that's not what they're selling it for.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was fun to see DC do something really animated, and really have a good vision and a good through line, compared to what Marvel did with What If, which every time I see that art style, I want to puke.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I do like the style of it, and I like Frank Grillo. But yeah, I just missed it. Should I go back and watch it?
It's like it's a fun show. Doesn't take too much of your like. It's sort of like a turn your mind off, just enjoy the ride kind of show.
Yeah, sure. That's fair enough. The other thing animated that they've kind of talked about briefly in this is Blue Beetle.
That's true, yeah.
It will continue the events of like I said, they're not making a sequel to the 2023 movie, but they're making, which I guess is, a good move forward if the other film didn't make enough money. And the other one that's really interesting is Dynamic Duo, which is about the two Robins who fought alongside Batman, Dick Grayson, and Jason Todd. Provides a kind of perfect on-ramp for family audiences into the world of Gotham.
That's not...
Having Jason Todd...
Yeah. Having Jason Todd is not family-friendly.
Absolutely not. He is a straight-up murderer. Like, that. It's... I mean, Mr. Safran, I know you know what you're doing and everything, but fuck my hole. Like, that's... Yeah, I mean, I don't... No, it should be Tim. It should be Tim Drake.
It definitely should be Tim Drake. But unless the entire plot of that film or whatever that project is that it's a Christmas special, and everybody in the Bat family is trying their hardest not to do anything that can make Jason Todd go mad. It's like that one episode. I like that a lot, actually. It's that one episode of The Bear, where at the end of it, Jamie Lee Curtis just drives a car through a house.
I have not seen that show, and everyone tells me to. I probably should check it out, yeah?
That you should. And whatever you do, we should do an episode on it, because it's...
Okay, all right.
It's really cool.
Done then.
But okay, here's my confusion, though. When they announced the Starfire show, is it the same Starfire that's going to be in the Teen Titans film that they also announced? Or is it like a separate thing? Because if it's a separate thing, then why would you do that?
Well, I mean, it's the same as like we were saying about having Brave and the Bold and Batman. Like you not only do you cannibalize the interest, you'd lose people's focus. Like I remember when The Batman came out, a friend said to me, who isn't a huge comic book person, I don't get it. Is it Christian Bale? And I was like, no, it's not. She said, oh, it's Ben Affleck. I'm like, no, it's a different actor. It's Rob Pattinson. She's like, okay, why are they casting someone younger after they've cast Ben Affleck? I'm like, well, it's not the same Batman. She was like, I don't understand. What do you mean? You know what I mean? Like for the same... Yeah. Some people don't understand multiple continuities.
And that's fine.
We're getting better at it now because of the multiverse and all that kind of stuff. But comic book readers have been dealing with that shit for decades. We understand that if you've ever read Crisis on Infinite Earths, that's got 14 different Supermen in it. And we followed that, no problems, George Perez and Marv Wolfman. Thank you very much. And... it's all easy for us to comprehend, but some people just aren't going to give it. And then if there's shit going on in the cartoon that isn't referenced in the movie, or if the movie version's a darker version or whatever, it's not really going to make any sense.
If it's two different things, then why would you do that either?
Mm.
And if it's the same character, I don't think that we should. There's a line I'm not. I want a Titans movie that feels like Young Justice, because Young Justice was a better Titan show than Titan ever was. That's a lot of Titan in one sentence. Fuck.
That's titties. Yes. Yeah. I mean, Titans was fine for the first episode, for the first season or whatsoever. Then I kind of dropped off. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure why. But Yeah, the Young Justice is awesome.
Yeah, Young Justice is awesome. Also, the guy who plays Reacher is in it in Titans for 2 seasons. He plays Hawk.
He plays Hawk, yeah, from Hawk and Dove, and the woman who plays Dove, who's got a really cool name and I can't remember it. She's in Friday Night Lights, which I'm currently watching.
And Hawk has a really interesting arc with his addiction to alcohol.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I like him a lot. Anyway, are you watching the new season of Reacher?
I am not, not yet.
Right. It's only 4 episodes or something that have come out so far, but regardless of its quality or anything, like I kind of like it, but there was a scene. There was a scene in an episode last night where he swam from an island to, like, I know he's supposed to be a super soldier and it's all cool, like not an actual super soldier, but he's supposed to be, you know, nigh invincible, and I kind of like that about him. And Alan Richardson certainly looks the part, but he walked out into the moonlight just wearing boxer shorts, and there's a character there who was like, fuck me, like, you know, he's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. The dude is impossibly huge. Like, The Rock looks fake. This guy looks real, but impossibly, like, he could actually play the Hulk. Yeah. It's outrageous. Like, as long as you live, you will never be able to understand how that happens, and how it happens for Reacher as well. The guy only seems to eat every second episode. I'm like, the calories that you have to take in. Occasionally he has a bit of soup or some ragu. He's a permanent, like, drifter. You know, he's a wandering man. So I don't know where his meals come from or where he's getting his workouts in, but fuck, like, to get into that shape, you would have to be constantly eating, and you have to be in the gym 3 hours a day. Like, anyway. Reacher tangent. We'll talk about Reacher when we come back for our 7 episode next week, everybody, and when we do What Are We Watching. But what we're not watching is some stuff that hasn't come out yet, which is movies that we talk about. And we'll talk about it right now. We're just going to go down the list and have a little chat about them. Are you cool with that?
Do I have a choice?
I was talking to the audience, actually, but...
Okay. No, because you're talking to the audience.
This was your fucking idea, dude. Like, I'm not...
It was.
I'm here by proxy, you know? It's because I fucking edit the show. Okay.
No, you're here because I love you.
And I love you too, and that's why we talk about this nonsense together, because who the fuck else would listen apart from me and you and Chaz? And anybody else out there who's listening, we love you all. Juan and Kike. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It's Craig Giuseppe, which is a fucking fun name to say, is directing. I don't know what else he's done. Do you know what else he's done?
I do not know what else he's done, but I'm super excited for it because I read the entire comic run. And I hope that they're able to do, like, that Space Odyssey shit right. Because that's, like, at one point she rides a horse in space, okay? I am not kidding. She literally rides a horse, and then it flies through, like, the sun, and then she fights a dragon. I'm more optimistic for that film than I am for Superman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just interested to see them try it again, because they haven't, you know, I mean, I know they did it on the small screen and everything, but they haven't tried to do Supergirl again on the big screen since the Helen Slater version back in the 80s that was, you know, between Superman 3 and 4. Which I still really like. Sexual awakening, I'll tell you that much. For her and Hurt Bochner. I mean, forget about it. 2 beautiful beasts. Yeah, and just excited for them to try something off-world as well, for them to not necessarily take place on Earth, because we've seen that, you know. And that's what I was a little skeptical about the Lantern series for as well, which I'm really excited about. And we talked about it briefly a second ago. Is that it's like a terrestrial based, so it's like on Earth, the mystery, when they're like, the way that I like those stories is the way that Jeff Johns and Grant Morrison write it, where they're police officers and it's all procedural and shit. So it would have been cool to see in guest space, but I understand they're trying to save money because it's just a TV show. But yeah, to see sort of a intergalactic adventure with a super being like Superwoman, Supergirl would be really cool. Craig Giuseppe directed I, Tonya, Cruella, which I actually quite like. Lars and the Real Girl, Dumb Money. So he's done some interesting shit. So it's with Millie Alcott starring in the movie based on the Tom King book, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It's halfway through production with a release date previously announced as June 26, 2026. Cool. We did talk about this one briefly, but it wasn't cast or anything, and it certainly didn't have a director or anything like that. So, and you've read the book and you think it's pretty dope.
Yes, it is. And I believe Lobo is going to show up, played by Jason Momoa in that one. And I don't know how to feel about that.
How come? Because he played Aquaman, or?
No, because I don't think Jason Momoa can act that well. I'm sorry.
Well, that's fine.
I also liked his Duncan Idaho in Dune, but I also could not take him seriously without the beard. So maybe keep the beard.
Yeah. Lobo will have a beard. Absolutely, Lobo will have a beard and be covered in white makeup. It'll be fucking cool. I do dig Lobo, actually. Yeah, it'll be interesting. As I said, like pulling off that intergalactic kind of thing. This next one I'm particularly excited about because we talked about it ages ago when we did our Dr. Sleep episode. Because on the podcast Script Apart with Mike Flanagan, he talked about going in to pitch at DC, and he pitched a Clayface movie to them as a horror picture, and they said, no thanks, but we have Dr. Sleep. Are you interested in that? Because it was Warner Brothers, and he said yes. So this has been in the pipe for ages, and they've announced it. Clayface with James Watkins to direct a solid Mike Flanagan script that was turned in. The goal to start filming this summer. Clayface isn't widely known as Penguin or Joker, but we think his story is as deeply resonant, thrilling, and even more terrifying, says Safran. The release date is September 11th, 2026. They better fucking get on it then. He directed, Woman in Black, Eden Lake, Speak No Evil, which came out recently with me in it. I've had half a dozen people tell me I look like James McAvoy in the last year. McMafia. Oh my goodness, that sounds exciting. Anyway, yeah, so that sounds cool. That's a good pedigree. He's done some horror pictures and some thriller pictures. I think it could be a really interesting take. What are you laughing at, motherfucker?
There's a McDonald's mafia. Sorry, I would like a throne of burgers.
Order the nuggets. Yeah, they're overstocked on nuggets, so he's got to push the nuggets today, kids. We've got too many nugs. I bought them off the back of a truck. Truck nugs. Anyway. So yeah, Clayface. How do you feel about Clayface?
Interesting. Really excited to see what the Mike Flanagan script is because they, like, as you talked about, they rejected it. They're like the Walter Hamada. So this is interesting. I am glad that he's not directing because he's too busy working with who wrote Dr. Sleep?
Mike Flanagan.
No, like the book. Who wrote it?
Oh, Stephen King.
Yes, he's too busy working with Stephen King, making the Dark Tower show for Amazon.
They're actually doing that, are they?
Yes, and it's been his it's been his passion project for the longest time.
Were you apologising for saying fucking then?
I was.
Don't. It's totally cool. Ready? Watch. Fucking. My voice cracked a little bit. I'm going to try it again. Fucking. Fuck! I'd love that one. That's my favourite, actually. That's a really good fuck, is when you're frustrated with something, like, you know, oh, come on, would you just get in the goddamn car? Fuck! Like, it's just... it's got a really good feel in my mouth, so to speak.
Mouth feel? Nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited if he's doing Dark Tower. As little as I know about that book series.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with Clayface. I am more looking forward to what James Mangold does with Swamp Thing, which is still happening.
Say one more time. What James Gunn was what?
James Mangold does with Swamp Thing.
Oh, we will come to that. Don't even worry about it, because that is my shit. That is my jam. If only Len Wein was alive to see it. God bless. Yeah. Okay. We'll keep going down the list. We talked about the Batman 2. Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves. Yeah, he does. And that's Matt. He's dancing there with a whole bunch of CGI monkeys around him. Get your shit together, Reeves. Matt Reeves, as we said before, hasn't turned in the script yet. The release date is 2027, October 1st, 2027, which is fucking crazy. When did the first one come out? 2022?
Also, do you reckon Matt Reeves just woke up, saw this article, and was like, they didn't send me fucking emails, and I have to turn in a script from the end of the year.
It's like they're out there. They're out there on the internet putting him on blast, but not. We haven't seen a whole script yet. Knock, knock, knock. Are you listening, Matt? Stop fucking, worrying about Cloverfields and get on it. He directed Cloverfield. His director's commentary for the Batman, which you can find on Spotify and you can find online and stuff. Someone's ripped it from the disc. Is so enthusiastic. He loves the character so much. It's infectious. You can't not like that movie more because of how much it means to him and how dedicated he is to his version of this character, which is very different than a lot of versions, but his version of this character. And he's just so excited to be making a Batman movie. It's great. So yeah, go on, Matt. Whenever it comes, we'll be watching. I guarantee it. Absence only makes the heart grow fonder. Batman Brave and the Bold, which is in the Gunniverse, so it's separate from the Batman, definitely won't be, what's his name? Pat.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I hope it's not. I fucking hope it's not.
Nah, it's not going to work, especially because it remains in development. Andy Mosquitoes, who directed the fantastic Flash, which is just, it's my film of the decade.
I'm going to leave right the fuck now, okay?
Yeah. And Addy has left the chat. Andy Muschietti. No shade to anybody. Everybody worked really hard on that movie. I just didn't. It wasn't for me. He'll be the first to see the script because he is directing. They have a writer, but they don't want to name them. It puts too much pressure on the guy. Okay. David Goyer wrote a version of it a few years ago, which wasn't too bad. I read his script for it. But fucking Grant Morrison also wrote one with Ezra Miller.
That's insane.
Yeah, they wrote one together and they handed it in, and it went nowhere. It got completely
well,
tanked.
that film shows that nothing went nowhere because it goes through the entirety of DCEU and fucking nothing happens. And then George Clooney shows up.
It is. It's a big fart, that one. It's loud and silly, but carries no offensive smell. I
know exactly what it is. It's after you've had like a good lasagna, and then 4 hours later, you sneeze, and you sneeze so loud that you fart, and with your fart, it just there's a little bit of squirt of shit. Just little.
All right, Doctor, you went into it really deeply. It's a lasagna. It's 4 hours and a little squirt of shit. You know when it happens? No, I don't. I don't eat lasagna, and B, I don't shit myself. Stop eating lasagna if that's what's happening to you. Bechamel is not for you. This is a funny show. It's just a conversation, really. It's not really... Actually, this is like all of our shows. Okay. Can we get back to what we're talking about? Lasagna farter. Anyway, Andy Mesquite. So they're not going to tell us who the writer is. The Brave and the Bold centers on the Dark Knight and his son, Damian Wayne, as we were saying before, as Robin, who's quite the firecracker. All right, Variety. Oh, no, this is Deadline. Take it easy. The je ne sais quoi of the project. Get fucked. Who wrote this article? That's terrible. Stop getting interns to write your copy, dudes. The je ne sais quoi of the project is that Batman was unaware that he had a son. The project is based on Grant Morrison's run of Batman, which was famous. He was only going to do a few issues and he was going to kill Damien off, and it was going to be this tiny little arc, and he ended up writing it for 6 years. And it's exceptional. I have the omnibuses over there. Some people don't like it. They think it's too cerebral, or that it makes Batman, it doesn't take Batman seriously enough or whatever, but it's just Grant's telling his shit and he's talking about it all being continuity, everything that happened to him. There's a really great interview with him and with Kevin Smith on the Fat Man and Batman podcast, which is now called Fat Man Beyond, I think. And but it's one of the first interviews that he did. It goes for 4 hours. It's on YouTube. You can find it, and it's absolutely fascinating. They talk about Batman in a way that you've never heard. So I'm down for that. Make that happen. This one's kind of sad. Sergeant Rock, which would have been cool. Which is DC's kind of Nick Fury, really, but still set in that time. Yeah, so the information on this is, in the wake of Daniel Craig stepping away, which is a damn shame because he would have been excellent, from the Luca Guadagnino-directed World War II movie scripted by Challenger's scribe Justin Kurtzikes? Kurtzikes? I'm sorry. Kurtzkes. I'm not sure how to pronounce that correctly. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, so the guys who made Challengers and Queer are going to direct this picture, and it would have Daniel Craig in it. Like, fuck, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. Also, they go on to say that he was never actually attached. Like, it was never confirmed that he was attached. But
People
Luca,
are just assuming.
Yeah, Luca was still like, I think there was like an interview or something where Luca alluded to having a cast already, but I do believe that the script is ready. But they don't have like the star.
That's a shame if it's not Craig. That would be very cool. Gunn and Safran said they never met with Craig and that he was never attached. So I don't know why they're saying he's stepping down then. What we love about Sergeant Rock is the opportunity to tell a story about heroism and conflict in a compelling and unique way. Justin really wrote a wonderful screenplay, and that's what catapulted the project to the forefront. The movie will shoot this summer if they can find the right actor. Bring it on. I think that's really cool. I love Luca Guadagnino's work. I think he's, or they, I don't know how they identify, one of the most interesting filmmakers working today.
Yeah, Sergeant Rock was in Creature Commanders too for like a scene. Because they have the GI robot, and that's the backstory of the World War II Nazi hunting robot. That's GI robot. So
they're just like sowing the seeds a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, James Gunn did say that like all the animated stuff and everything is canon, which like you will run into more problems in your first few years, because Marvel is having that problem now after a decade of existing.
Yeah,
absolutely. When you start off with that, I don't know.
That's the thing. We can't know until it comes out. Teen Titans. A script is being worked on. It's something that the writer is really impassioned about. Turned over an amazing script to us. It's being fiddled with now. It's definitely not the finished script. So Teen Titans is in review. I don't know how that's news, but whatever you're into, I don't mind.
Please have Tom Taylor rated.
Ana Nogueira, I think it is.
Oh, she wrote Supergirl, I believe.
Nogueira? Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, she's working on this too. I just didn't want to say her name because I didn't want to say it wrong, because I feel really stupid for getting the writer of Challenger's name wrong. I struggle with some words, just reading them on a page. Yeah, I mean, they should probably look at what the TV show did well, which was the aesthetic and the dynamics between the characters, and then push it into the more Tom Taylor vibe of we're about hopefulness and we're about joyfulness, and we're a young team. We're not as grizzled as the JLA and that kind of thing.
When you say the show, do you mean Titans or do you mean Teen Titans? Titans. Jesus Christ, no. I don't want that show's DNA anywhere.
No.
No, it's that's Dick Grayson and Friends to a point where Dick Grayson is just like, he's not even a character anymore. He's just Batman, but in blue. Like that's how they treat him by the end of it.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite jazz albums, Batman in Blue. Oh, it's midnight. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, well maybe I'll shut the fuck up then and not do that. Or they could do an adaptation of the Judas Contract where Deathstroke is having sex with a 14-year-old girl. Fuck me, that's crazy. And she's smoking cigarettes and stuff.
What?
Have you read the Judas Contract?
No.
Marv Wolford and George Perez, I think it was. Forgive me if I'm wrong, everyone. And there's Deathstroke is trying to sort of pull the team apart from the inside, and he's got one of the Titans. I can't remember the character. Is his sort of man on the inside, and it's a teenage girl, and he's also fucking her, and he's like a 50-year-old man. Oh my
god, they did that in Titans, and I didn't like it there too. Yeah, they did that. I'm not kidding. They did that
in the show.
In the show, they don't show them having sex. But
they don't show the pumps. They don't show pumping. Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, but it's like it's implied, and then she bangs Jason Todd.
I mean, everyone loves a bad boy. Forget about it. Sorry, so sip my tea. Final one from the features. Swamp Thing Fucking bada bing. Love me some Swamp Thing. Such a great character. I'm actually working on a Swamp Thing short at the moment, like a comic book, like a 16-pager about Swamp Thing. Because I dig the character so much. I even like, the runs outside of what Alan Moore did, even though Alan Moore is kind of known as the guy who... Actually, Len Wein said something interesting about it. And Len Wein created Swamp Thing. Alan Moore's a great writer, but he's not an innovator. He just either builds on what's already there, or he uses established tropes to continue the work forward, whatever it happens to be. Like if you look at his work, you're like, fuck, he did too. Even things like Watchmen and stuff, which is so groundbreaking and revolutionary. It's just the same story, but it's got a slight adjustment, which I suppose all things do. But it's not like he's not a creator in that same way. Like even the Watchmen stuff was supposed to be all the Charlton characters after DC bought them, like Blue Beetle and the Question and stuff. And they were like, can you do a story? And he's like, yeah. And he went away and he came back and he pitched Watchmen, but with all the Charlton characters. And DC was like, we just spent like thousands and thousands of dollars buying the rights to all these characters. We don't want to fucking kill them all off or make them murderers or whatever. Can you come back with that, but just make them your own thing? And so he just developed new characters, and that's how Watchmen started. But anyway, so outside of his work on Swamp Thing, Scott Snyder did a great one. Len Wein did some really good stuff. Mark Miller did some stuff which was kind of ghostwritten by Grant Morrison, actually. It's going to be directed by James Mangold.
Yes.
Oscar nominee, 5-time Oscar nominee, James Mangold, who made some of my favourite pictures, Copland, Logan, Ford versus Ferrari, Walk the Line. Just an all-round fantastic filmmaker and writer. He's attached. It's on. It will investigate the dark origins of the mudwater creature. Deadline, can I please take over this person's job? Who wrote this shit? This is balls. I hope you can hear me. Terrible. The ball is really in his court, says Safran about the project moving forward. There was a Swamp Thing movie in 1988 starring Adrienne Barbeau, which also spawned a sequel in 1989. I think one of them was directed by Wes Craven. There was also a 2019 CW series that I thought was really good. I liked that a lot. It was so expensive to make because they had to build a swamp. They just couldn't do it. But James Wan spearheaded it and everything. Like, yeah, if I can bring on Swamp Thing and do it practically, like in the show, it was just a big guy in makeup. You got to do it. And I know Swamp Thing in a lot of incarnations is huge and hulking and just, 7 feet tall over the top of people. Okay, cool. Do some interesting camera stuff with that, and also like the way that he can move in and out of the green, as he calls it, and become bigger and smaller, and have his body sort of like. I understand there's going to be CG involved, but when he's standing in front of the camera delivering dialogue, have it be a dude.
Or have it be a puppet.
Yeah. A puppet might be a bit slow, and you might lose a bit of the humanity. You need the eyes. You need someone who's the size of Alan Richardson, but can act like fucking Alan Rickman,
Yeah, but also, have you seen the puppeteers and like the things that Lucasfilm has done with puppets?
The puppeteers?
The puppeteers.
The puppeteers. Yeah, okay, all right. Well, that's what are you saying? What have they done that makes you feel like yes, this will happen? Or
like just talk to Michael Giacchino and how he did Man-Thing. Or was it Werewolf by Night?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's interesting as well that they're going to do a Punisher thing like that, like a one-off thing. We'll talk about that in Nerd News next week. There was a couple of other things. Well, how do you feel about Swamp Thing apart from them doing it with a puppet?
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm more excited to see what James Mangold does with it. Also, he might win an Oscar today or like tomorrow, so that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm anything he does, I'm down for. Just run through a couple of other things. Apparently, Matt Orton, who wrote Final Operation Finale and Moon Knight, is working on a Deathstroke Bane script, is what he said. The Peacemaker spin-off Waller with Viola Davis, and Gunn has called that a bumpy road. And the struggle to land the right script means that season 2 of Peacemaker will move in its place, and then they'll kind of figure it out after that. The other project that seems to be suffering from all these changes is The Authority. In the 2023 presentation, Gunn spoke at length about the movie and said that it would follow the events of Superman as it tracked the team of superheroes who adopt more ends justify the means philosophy than the Man of Steel. In the intervening 2 years, however, The Authority has been on the back burner. It's a very, very big movie. If we're going to do The Authority properly, says Safran, and some story elements perhaps that are in Superman and some of the other films that we fast-tracked step a bit on the Authority, having also a harder time coming along with the script. So yeah, that's kind of what's up.
That one sucks. They also mentioned Booster Gold being part of that, bumpy road projects, right?
Yeah.
The Authority one hurt me a lot because it was supposed to be like the first feature that DCU did under James Gunn, and I mean, I knew nothing about the Authority, and then when they announced it, I looked into it, and the characters were really interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's a huge movie, but also the engineer is in Superman, so hopefully we have like few tie-ins or whatever. I hope that film gets made. I hope it's not another New Gods that DCU announced.
Yeah, absolutely. The Ava DuVernay film. Ava DuVernay's film Origin is fucking exceptional. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. It's so great. I had it shook me. It was so good. Yeah, the Authorities, if they base it on Warren Ellis's first run that he did, the Mark Millar stuff gets into his sort of edgelord nonsense that I feel like he thinks is his brand, and it's just a waste of time because he doesn't have the subtlety of Garth Ennis, who created Preacher. But if you take the Warren Ellis issues coming off the back of Stormwatch and do that and have Midnighter and Apollo and Jenny Sparks and the Engineer and the Doctor and fucking it's so good. But you couldn't do that first out of the gate. It just doesn't have the familiarity with a larger audience that you need to make these things billion-dollar franchises, which is what they have to be now in order to be deemed successful. You've got to start with Superman, especially if it's a flagship title. Like if we're all leading somewhere, which is kind of what you kind of assume they are, being that these are phases that aren't phase 1, phase 2. They're named. It's gods and monsters. So what's the next one going to be? What's the next one going to be? By the time you get to that and you get to some sort of crisis level event or some sort of Kingdom Come style event, you've got to set up your main people pretty soon. And I think that's going to be Supes and maybe the Titans and maybe Batman. I don't know what they're doing with Wonder Woman or Flash, but I guess we'll see when they end up coming out. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I was really looking forward to Booster Gold and Authority. And those were the two projects we didn't hear anything about. And then you make sense that they're stuck in development hell. I hope that those shows like Booster Gold and Authority see the light of day. I am mildly optimistic about Superman. I just like again, if Superman doesn't work, none of this shit matters.
I know. That's the big thing. The big part of the thesis is if you fuck that up, good night. And we won't see you again for a long time, DC.
Yeah, like if Superman doesn't work, we see Peacemaker season 2 that in its previous season had a different Justice League. And then would now like not make sense at all. And then we would see like a half-assed Supergirl movie because I hope it works, and I hope we get like more Elseworld shit in it, like not like all the Kingdom Come shit, but like I hope in this DCU we can get a Nightwing arc, of him going from Robin to becoming the savior of Bloodhaven.
Or if they just introduce Nightwing straight up in Teen Titans and then have him spin off, you can have that nice, like the Batman movie comes out first and you explain, and Nightwing's got a cameo in it and you explain that he was the first Robin, then there's a new Robin. People will get that immediately even if they're not too familiar. And then Titans, and then you get a spin off with Nightwing, even if it's a series. I reckon that it's rife for series work. So many possibilities, so many opportunities. But you're right, if Superman doesn't work, it's going to be like when Aquaman 2 came out. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, who gives a shit? No one's here. It's just, or Craven, God bless it, that was trying really hard. And they were like, you know what, let's just pull the pin on this shit. Maybe they'll do it all for tax purposes like Batgirl.
Did you say let's pull the pin on this shit?
Let's pull the peen on it. Yeah, we just want to jerk our peen off. No, sir. Now, we're going to go now and have sex with some fruit. just
I forgot that's how we started.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to go on fuck a honeydew. I tell you that much. Nothing with a pip. Nothing with a pip in it. You know? Melons are good. Papaya's probably the best because it even looks like a big fanny. It looks like a big fanny. Come on, Reegs. No. I wonder how many people turn this off and just like, absolutely not. These guys are not okay. Anyway. Did you do your last thoughts?
I think I did.
Okay, good. I don't have any. My thoughts were as read in the episode, so go back and listen to it again. Yeah, we'll see you next week, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this little bonus ep on some nerd news. Hit us up in the comments or, you know, send us a message or whatever and let us know how you feel about things. What are you looking forward to? And we'd love to chat about it with you. So bring it on home. So yeah, I love you, buddy. Thanks for chatting all some nerd stuff with me again.
Thanks for doing this.
Nah, it's good. It'll be really good. And then next week we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming. But until then, be well and remember.
Stay amazing. Stay safe. I almost started there. Stay amazing.
What do you mean almost? You did. Well, no almost about it, buddy.
Yeah. Stay amazing. Stay safe. Look up. Maybe there's a
Why?
bird.
What is it? Ah!